Welcome to NYC Jewelry Week 2022. We're the co-founders. My name is JB Jones.
And I'm Bella Naiman.
And we're really excited to welcome you here for our 2022 virtual program on our official YouTube page. Please go hit subscribe so you know all the other programs that we're dropping here on YouTube this week. And head to our website at NYCJW22.com to see all the in-person programs we're doing in New York, as well as a full list of the virtual programs we're doing here.
We're really excited about this upcoming virtual program. If you have any questions or comments for the participants, please feel free to leave them in the chat. And even though it's not a live program, we will make sure that they get them. Thank you so much for joining us. Sit back and relax and have some fun. Bye.
Good day, dear audience of New York City Jewelry Week 2022. My name is Elena Karpilova. I'm from Belarus. I have education of critic of arts and also I'm an artist. But during last 6 years, my main profession is connected with interdisciplinary education for kids. I'm the head of Architectural Thinking School for Children. And the second part of my life is dedicated to contemporary jewelry. I have my own blog in Instagram called Karpilova, and there I post some photos of what I'm doing, and also I'm posting there some pieces which I love so much, pieces from all over the world, stories from jewelers, their biographies, and so on. From March 2022, I started to post some stories of jewelers from Ukraine. When all this terrible situation, when war started, I thought, how can I help people from Ukraine? I was kind of blocked in my country, in Belarus, and I could not even help financially because all our cards were blocked. And I started to write little articles, little stories about Ukrainian jewelers. I even found some friends from Ukraine. I have now a lot of friends in the jewelry community from Ukraine. I wrote a few articles for our jewelry forum about the stories of Ukrainian jewelers, how they live now in such circumstances, how they continue to work in such terrible situation. How they even make some wedding jewelry, because people in Ukraine, they struggle a lot, but they continue to live, they continue to celebrate life, and these people really inspired me. It was a hard time for me as well, because I felt this pain. I have a lot of friends from Ukraine, I have some relatives living in Ukraine. I had to escape in Uzbekistan for 1 month, then I moved in Kyrgyzstan for 1 month as well. And now I'm in Portugal. I'm safe. Here I am from May 2022. And when I calmed down, I received this invitation from New York City Jewelry Week to make some virtual program about Ukrainian jewelers. I thought that it's a wonderful occasion to speak about them out loud again. And I thought, what could it be? Maybe virtual exhibition, maybe some special website about them. But I decided to make interviews with them, because I think that it is really important to hear their stories from themselves. Yes, I can write it by myself, the written text could be really wonderful without any mistakes and so on, but I guess the most interesting and the most important thing is to see these brave people, to hear the stories from themselves. And I made this series of interviews, which you will see right now. Also, I created the page in Instagram called Precious Ukrainian Voices, and you can check this page in Instagram, and you could find there a lot of pieces from different jewelers from Ukraine. And in interviews, which you could see, and I hope you will see right now, You will hear the stories from 5 jewelry brands from Ukraine: Roka brand, Anna Malishevskaya, Logvin Jewelry, Olga Komisarova, and Igor Penigin. I have to tell you that it was not so easy to make these videos, interviews, because some of these jewelers are still in Ukraine. And I can tell you that some of them were in different countries and they decided to return in Ukraine. Nevertheless, the war is continuing. And now, during last few weeks, in many cities of Ukraine, there is no electricity during half of the day, no heating, no water, and even in such circumstances, we managed everything and we made these interviews. For sure, maybe our English is not perfect. For sure, maybe we made a lot of mistakes in our interviews, and even one of this interview was interrupted by switching out of electricity. But I guess you will be very inspired by the stories of these jewelers. You will see how their brands developed. You will see the faces of these jewelers. You will see their pieces. None of them, I guess, told about that he or she needs some help. But I will tell you, if you are owner of the gallery, if you like to collect some contemporary jewelry, if you are representing some jewelry festival, these jewelers will be completely happy if you will invite them to the festival, if you will propose them some collaboration, if you will speak about them on your Instagram pages, for example, or for sure if you will buy some pieces of these jewelers. I hope you will enjoy our interviews and some monologues, because some of these videos jewelers made by themselves, because they had no electricity and nothing to manage our interview. Enjoy, and hope you will find and you will open for yourself a new world of contemporary jewelry from Ukraine. Let's hear these precious Ukrainian voices.
Good day, Roxana. I'm very happy to see you in this nice sunny day. Thank you for receiving this proposal to participate in New York City Jewelry Week program, virtual program, which I am responsible of, Precious Ukrainian Voices, and I'm very proud to see you here because I know something about your brand, quite known brand, Roka brand. And today Roxana will tell us more about yourself, about your brand. Roxana is a professional gemologist, and I know that you don't live in Ukraine, but not for now. You don't live there for a long time. You live in Switzerland, so I think it will be very interesting to hear interesting details about your career from you.
Yes. Hello, Elena. Thank you very much for this opportunity to participate in this beautiful project. It's also a big honor, and I'm very happy that you reached out and I have this opportunity to speak. My name is Roxana. I am the creative director and designer of brand Roka, which is purely Ukrainian based. All of our manufacturing, production, and the whole team, except me right now, is based in Kiev. Yes, I do not live in Ukraine for almost 20 years, but for the past 3 years, I was going there once in 2 months, once in 3 months, until I basically moved there just before the war. So I lived in Kiev before the war for almost 1 year without coming to Switzerland that often. And now the things have changed and I'm back in Switzerland again, but the whole team, this is very important, is staying in Kiev. And we continue to operate, we continue to work online.
And even the production continued to work during these times in Kiev.
Yes, we had only 2 months off, 2.5 months off from the beginning of the war, from the 24th of February. for 2 months we did not work because that was not possible to understand what's going on, and obviously people did not work. But then we've decided that we would come back to work and do whatever we can, because this is very important, first of all, to keep the jobs, because it's crucially important. And second of all, life should continue, even though it's very hard, but we need to do something. And I know that for my team, this is crucial to have work right now. And now it's getting really hard because we have no electricity in Kiev. The electricity is on only for 3 hours per day. And as we work with metal, it's almost impossible to work. Even though we have orders, even though everything is fine in terms of recognition of the brand and the flow of the orders. But right now we are in a very stuck position, even worse than at the beginning of the war. This is very unfortunate, but we hope for the best and we do our best to continue. Yes.
Yeah, because I know about the situation now in Kiev, and we have even some problems with interviews with jewelers. But as I told them, like, it's not the main thing. The best thing is that you survived. You're kind of safe, and don't worry about the interviews. We will do it. It will be okay. And it was your decision to save this production in Ukraine, not to move in Switzerland. Yeah.
Yes, well, for many reasons, but the main reason is that since I was almost 15 years old, when I moved to Switzerland, I always had very strong connection to my motherland, always. I never identified myself as a European or a Swiss one, even though I have a Swiss passport. I always had this very strong connection. And I had an idea of having a project in Ukraine with the full manufacturing processes, having a brand there, because that's not my first jewelry project. That's my second jewelry project. The first one actually was in Switzerland, and it did not work out well for many reasons. So since that moment, I knew for sure that I would go to Ukraine, I would create working places, I would create an atelier or a showroom or something like that, and I would operate that way. And that went well. The idea came to a reality. We had a fantastic team. We have a fantastic team. And we have invested a lot in work. We have everything there. We have the whole production, which we do not outsource. We work with the metal ourselves. We have jewelers ourselves. So we do not outsource. And I think it's a great achievement. And our team, they know exactly what to do. So it would be very difficult to move them. It would be very difficult, starting from the personal aspect. Like, people have families, people have attachments in Ukraine, and they cannot leave, ending with the machines and all of the equipment we have. So that would
tools, instruments,
starting over, and I'm not really sure we could do that. So yes, we decided that we would stay in Kiev and try to work. And also, we are working and we are helping Ukraine, we are donating. And this is also very important to rise up the economy at least a little bit. I know we are a very tiny business, but every tiny business helps. And I think it's important.
Yeah, sure. I saw on the website of Roca brand, immediately when you go there, you see the sign that you help Ukraine. And yeah, I think little by little all will be fine. And
yes.
I know about your last collection that is dedicated to Ukraine, but we will speak about it a bit later, I guess. And but tell us more about how did you manage to open this brand, Roca brand? Tell us about the story.
So basically, by profession, I'm a gemologist. Well, I have 2 gemological degrees, and I worked in auction house, in jewelry houses. I worked in a diamond manufacturing, quite a big one, as a senior gemologist. I've been involved in buying diamond rough. I mean, I had quite a cornered career without any creativity. So I just knew what I have to do. I had my stones, I had my knowledge, and I was proceeding there. But I always had a creative side, and I always wanted to create something. And actually, I was always creating jewelry for myself, just doing it with the jeweler, which was locally based next to me. And in 2018, I got really fascinated by the idea that why nobody is doing the jewelry in patina? Why nobody is patinating the jewelry? I find it excellent. I find it beautiful looking at all of that monuments who are oxidizing in the green color. Looking at this ancient bronze pieces, historical pieces, they're so marvelous. They're amazing. They're like treasures. So I've started to research on patination, how to make patination on jewelry. And that's how it basically started. That's how the first piece was born, with the idea of creating an ancient touch piece. So we've worked on that. We've tried so many stuff, nothing worked, but at the end, thank God, everything is working now. We have our own special technique, which we're not sharing with anyone. And yes, so the basic idea was to create the jewelry which represent the ancient history and which can age and change with the person, with the wearer. So the main philosophy of Broca brand is the jewelry which is aging and changing and living and breathing with yourself. And we encourage that. If your metal is changing the color, if it's getting darker, if it's getting more green, if it's changing the shine, we encourage that. This is not a problem, this is actually a solution. So that's our philosophy.
So can you show us something
Yes,
you are doing? Because we're
course.
curious already. I saw for sure your pieces, but tell us, show us more, please.
So I'm gonna show a little presentation which I prepared, and I'm gonna quickly go through it just to introduce what is Broca brand about. So as you can see, we are all about ancient world, the aesthetics of the ancient world, inspired by artisanal heritage of the humankind. We do handmade jewelry. Almost everything is handmade. We use upcycled and recycled materials. We use our own bronze, which we recycle and upcycle. We buy bronze from the pawn shops and from different dealers. So it's very important that we use only recycled materials. We do not buy new. Also, I would like to talk about the bronze, why the bronze is the main point of our brand, because bronze is one of the most historical metal in the world. And I find it very interesting how you can work with it, because first of all, it changes color, it oxidizes quickly because it has copper and tint, and copper gives this very fast oxidation. That is why patina is applied on the bronze. Actually, bronze is the only metal where patina can reveal itself. So we use bronze, we use patina, we use silver, we use polychrome combinations. We often use silver and bronze together. For the moment, we also use only organic materials. This is our thing for the moment. I'm not saying that we won't change. Probably we will, but for the moment, it's only organic, such as amber, coral, pearl, and other organic gemstones, shells, and you just name it. Maybe wood, which we would like to use very soon. We work also with terracotta, porcelain, and painted miniatures, meaning that we work with local artisans who are somewhere next to us around Ukraine, across Ukraine, who could work with this rustic materials, also being handmade. So we are gender neutral. This is our main point. We use natural oxidation without additional chemical treatment, meaning that we patinate our pieces without any chemistry, and we definitely do not use the nickel because, well, that's against the law, but not many people follow that rule. Each piece, we try to create each piece with the symbolic meaning, meaning that every piece represents something, represents hope, love, protection. So each piece is carrying the empowerment to the customer. And as I said before, we are collaborating, and we definitely support local artisans.
I'm
Yes.
sorry, Roxana. Yeah, I see the next slide. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So here it's actually the same. We're talking about recycled bronze and silver. We have zero waste production because we use our own material. We make one collection per year, so it's a slow fashion. And as we're talking about fashion jewelry here, because we definitely go under the category of the fashion jewelry. So we make just one collection per year, and I'm heading towards the idea that maybe I would do some kind of drops without even being connected to the idea of making a collection. So without having any limits. Yes. That's what I told you about the patina, which I got obsessed with, and that's how my brand started. This our first pieces from our first collection, Siren's Treasure. The idea was as if a mermaid, well, actually a siren, she found a chessboard on the shores of the ocean, and she opened it and she found these beautiful treasures which aged with time, and they got this effect of the patina, this green, almost turquoise color of the sea as well. So that was our first collection. It's very much inspired by the ancient Greece, by the mythology. As you can see, the snakes here, they represent the Medusa Gorgon. These are the snakes of the Medusa. And the ancient coins we have, it's the goddess Arethusa and the god Poseidon. They are both the gods of the water.
Wow, and the main material of this collection, what was the main material?
It is bronze. Everywhere is bronze. Bronze is the basics, is the fundament of Roca brand.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a jewelry bronze, which means it's a high quality jewelry bronze, and we gold plate it with the 24 karat gold. So here, the continuation of the Siren's Treasure collection. As you can see, we have added up some pearls because we have this theme of water, of sirens, of mermaids, of mythology. You can see that we have small pendants of Medusa Gorgon, which are attached to the interchangeable necklace. And they are made in bronze, in terracotta, in porcelain, and in patina or pure bronze color. So yes, some baroque pearls and some alphabets, which is attached to the silver scarf with the pearl button. A little bit of romanticism here. Then gently we're moving to the Amor Vincit Omnia collection, which is inspired by the times of the Renaissance, taking a look at the previous ancient story. But this is more about Latin inscriptions, Latin codes, Christianity. When the Christianity came after the Middle Ages, when the Renaissance, the rebirth started, the Christianity became less aggressive and more symbolic. That's what's this collection about. We have anchors, which from both sides, we have a sun and a little new moon with the inscription Amor Vincit Omnia, love conquers all. Then these are our bestsellers up until today. These are small signets for the pinky finger, 5 signets representing 5 hand gestures of Latin meaning connected to Christianity and having each own symbolism. For example, mano figa, which is second from the right, it's a very famous gesture. It represents fertility, actually, fertility and abundance, and also it has an evil eye protection. Then the first one from the right, it's a mano fortuna, as it sounds, fortuna is for the good fortune. The middle one is mano cornuto. It's actually the symbol which came into rock and roll. That's also a protection from the evil. It's a representation of the horns of the bull. It's to scare away the evil. It's to scare away the bad luck. Then the second one, the second from the left, is the mano beneficium, is the prayer, which is closed, meaning that you pray, you close your prayer, and you hope that this prayer will come to life. And the first one from the left is, oh my God, I forgot.
Don't worry, but it's
sorry.
amulets.
Yes, mano veritas, meaning one life, one God, one love, and one belief. And yes, these are signets which are representing a specific, like signets, they always take you to a specific group or subgroup which have their own beliefs. How you call that? Oh, I'm sorry. Like a brotherhood. And signets took, well, they came to life exactly at that time of the Renaissance, when the cardinals and people of God, people of church were using them. So that was the sign of a closed circle. That was the message to each other that you represent these or that beliefs or religion or something else. So yes, these 5 symbols, they are like amulets. Each of them represents different thing. And up until today, it's been 3 years, these are the definite bestsellers. People really like them because each person can find something for him or for herself in these 5 gestures. And also, very important thing, these hands, these are my hands.
Yes. Okay. So the hand of the founder of the brand. Okay.
Yes, these are the drawings of my own hand, and the hand is open to the viewer, so it's open to you. It's like an open heart. We don't close the hand; we open it, and this is also very important. So when people start to when they get introduced to these meanings, when they know what it means, they are definitely interested, because just seeing a picture in the Instagram, it doesn't really say much. So yes, these are the signets. Then we are moving to the Skolatoy collection. This is actually the change where my shift and my vector went to Ukraine. The Skolatoy collection is about the Scythians who lived on the territory of Ukraine in the 4th century before Christ. And I've made a lot of research, and I tried to find the art, the zoomorphic art, which represents my region, because I'm born in Dnipro, and that's where the Scythians, who were called Skolatoy, they actually lived. And yes, I found fish, which is very unusual for the Scythians, lots of horns, and you can see the earrings, for example. It's a little bit well, that's the beginning of the lunar earrings, which represent the moon, the crescent. But they are widely used in Ukraine today, and not only in Ukraine, in Slavic countries, but they actually come from the Scythians. They were one of the first ones to use, yes. The raw bell, I can actually show you that, well, I will show you a little bit later. This is my favorite piece, which I wear every day. This is the bell to scare away again the evil and the bad luck. Yes. And
I saw from the very beginning the necklace on you, and now I recognize that it's from this collection. And maybe the ring you have from this collection, no?
Yes. I have 2 horn rings, the bronze and the silver. Yes, exactly. These are my pieces. I'm stuck with them. I'm very, yeah, I don't wear a lot of jewelry, but if I wear something, I never take it off. Yes, so this is the Skolatoy collection, and that's when I've started to take a close look at Ukraine, at our ancestors, our roots, and where it all came from, and that's how slowly but surely I realized that my vector would be Ukrainian culture, the memory of our ancestors, and the codes and symbols we are carrying, and this is very interesting to explore. So the logical continuation of the Skolatoy collection, which were Scythians 4000 before Christ, became the Blago collection, which is the early Christianity and the beginning of the Kievan Rus, and that was 9th century, after the Christ was born. That's where the paganism is coming across with Christianity, which is, I find, a very interesting combination, because people did not understand who they believe in creatures, or in God. So this is a very interesting combination where they were closely connected to the animal world and to God, because yes, Christianity came very strongly at that time, and many people started to believe in orthodoxy. So you can see we have lots of crosses, the crosses in the apple blossom, meaning the rebirth. Yes, and we have a brooch of non-binary figure, which has no sex, and it's like a snake. It's a snake, but around the snake we have the biblical word. So this is very, very interesting, and this brooch actually existed during those times.
And I see the amber, and I guess the bird is made out of porcelain, no?
Yes. We use here we use the raw amber, and we tried to use the Ukrainian amber, which was very hard, difficult to find, but we made it. And yes, the bird is the porcelain bird with the malachite powder, and this bird is the Ukrainian national bird. Every child had it when we were little. We all had it. So this is also a respect to the Ukrainian culture and the beginning of it, the Kievan Rus. So yes, this was my last collection, which was launched just before the war, December 2021. Unfortunately, it's much bigger than just this slide. We have many more pieces, and everyone is welcome to visit our website and to see the Blago collection, which was done with love. It's really something special for me. When I was making it, I had an amazing time, actually. I think it's healing. It kind of healed me. Yes, so we didn't really have time to introduce it well enough, because only 2 months passed before the war, and I feel like this collection does not have that attention as it's supposed to have. But yeah, we have what we have, and probably we would move to the next slide. We will talk about the new pieces, something which is upcoming. And why is it upcoming?
I guess you still didn't even introduce this collection to the audience, because I didn't see, or maybe I saw some pieces.
No, we haven't introduced it yet. We are hoping that everything would be done by the end of December, and we will introduce it fully to the wider audience. But at the moment, we're just in process of making it.
Oh, so it's the first presentation of this new collection. Wow.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So these are the 3 pieces which are already there, and right now they would be exposed in the GEM Genève, which is the international exposition of jewelry, and these 3 pieces will be there. And what are we talking here? We are talking about Cossacks, the archetype of Cossacks, which are awakening in every Ukrainian since the beginning of the war. And we have very interesting history in Ukraine, and Cossacks, actually, they are the independent troops, the independent political troops, which were based on the militarism, and they were fighting for our land without obeying to any power, meaning that the Muscovy, the Tsars and the Imperial Russia had to respect Cossacks. The Ottoman Empire had to listen to Cossacks. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth as well, and the Khanate of Crimea. These were the countries who were fighting for our land, and Cossacks were defending it. So these are independent troops of warriors who had 3 pillars of their beliefs. Those were freedom, orthodoxy, and combat, the fight. And right now, when the war has begun, we are all coming back to the Cossacks. We're all coming back to that time where those men were fighting for the land and trying to gain the independence again. And yes, I find it very important. As any Ukrainian, I have the spirit of the Cossack in me. That's what I believe. And each piece has something to do with the Cossacks. As the main character, I took the Cossack whose name is Charakternik. Actually, it's translated like the one with the character. That's the spiritual leader of the troop. He's almost a magician. It's also a very interesting mix between the orthodoxy and the paganism and some mystical practices. He was the one who was not the fighter, but he was the one who was leading the troop, who was foreseeing the future a little bit, who was understanding the spiritual world. He was talking to the ancestors. He was very deeply rooted with the past, but he was always looking at the future. So this character is very, very important. And as he was very much connected to the symbolic, to the symbolism, then this Cossack Charakternik, he was always wearing something to help him to be connected to the spirits or to the god or to the future. And that is why I've created some pieces which I think represent that spirit. For example, in the middle, we have the Sword of Unity. This is the sword, which is adorned with the flower called Любка дволиста. It's basically the butterfly orchid, which is grown in the mountains of Ukraine. And this flower is believed to be widely used by the Cossacks because it had some hypnotical effect, and it could ease the hunger, the thirst, and it helped not to sleep. So it's like a small drug which helped the Cossacks a lot on the battlefield. And this Sword of Unity, actually, we have a legend in Ukraine when the Cossacks were dissolved in different directions because of the Catherine the Great. They left to different parts of Ukraine, Russia, and Crimea. And the legend says that when the Cossacks were dissolved, they would be called one day by God to forge the Sword of Unity. And by overcoming lots of hardships and disappointments and lots of battles, one day they will forge this sword and they will unite Ukraine again. They will make it independent and they will bring back the freedom. So this is a very symbolic piece for me. This is the piece where I want to say that I stand with Ukraine. I stand with our beliefs. I wanted to gain independence. I wanted to be free. And I want our people to be heard. And I want our culture to be known. So I truly believe that this day will come and this word of unity will be forged. Yes. And yes, as you can see on the right side, we have a bracelet, which is the symbol of it is very well known to the public, but I see it as a Ukrainian flag, let's say. This is the duality of the blue and yellow, the interconnecting parts. And if you look closely, you can see the shape of the cross, which is turned right and left. So that's my variation of Ukrainian flag.
Yes, now I see. I didn't mention before, but yeah, now I see. Wow.
And also, I would like to show some pictures of another new pieces from the new collections, which are also very important. And I never showed it to anyone, actually, just very close friends. And I would like to introduce them right now and just talk about it a little bit. Yes.
Cool. Thank you so much, Roxana.
Thank you. Just a second. I will quickly choose the photos, which I want to show.
Oh, yeah. And the materials are as well bronze, silver.
Yes, bronze and silver. But the Sword of Unity, this is an exclusive piece. This is made of gold and bronze. So the connecting parts, the one that it goes on the neck, and the plates which are protecting your skin, they are made of 14-karat gold. But the sword itself, it's made of bronze with the hand patination. Yes.
Okay.
So just a moment, I do like this, like this, like this, So yes, this is another part of our pieces which we would like to introduce. This is something very spiritual, and this is done in collaboration with the friend of our brand. It's a very special friend, and he lives in the mountains right now. He's I don't know how to explain it well, hand knitting those pieces from the hemp fabric, which is handmade, which is found in Ukraine. And while doing it, he's praying, and he's empowering this piece with these special powers for the wearer, meaning that we believe that if you buy this piece, first of all, it's all prayers to Ukraine, and then you could ask whatever you want from this piece, something very personal. And as you can see, we have a cross, the reimagined cross, which is also the cross of the Cossacks, and the bells. The bells, again, to scare off the evil and to bring the good luck. These are the rings. These are the rings which you can wear on the top of your finger or down. This is the bracelet for the forearm, and which could be worn on your leg as well.
And I guess all these are really unisex. I mean, it could be.
Yes, it's definitely unisex. And here you can see the image of a Cossack. Yes, and actually this is our friend who we are collaborating with. His name is Valera Topal, and that's him on the picture. So he himself represents that jewelry, and he's in Ukraine now. Here are some photos of the new pieces which I showed before, again on Valera with the hand knitted hemp pieces as well. This is the bracelet of the Ukrainian flag in my imagination. This is the sword of unity shown on Valera on a man. This is again the bracelet. Yes, and this is the close, just the production photo of the bracelet. That's it. I just would like to say that everything which is done from the visual part, from the production to the visual part, is made only by Ukrainian friends. We are collaborating closely with young artists, like photographers. We have a beautiful couple, very young couple who are living in Ukraine, and they are artistic creators of the product photos. They just don't do a product photo. They make a painting. So we collaborate closely with them. We collaborate with different type of painters, with the pottery workers, and those are all young people who live in Ukraine, like young artisanals and professionals. And I'm very proud that every picture, every text, every piece is purely done by Ukrainian.
Yeah, it's all made in Ukraine. Yeah, cool. And maybe you can show us, because maybe I will forget it later. Maybe you can show us your beautiful necklace, and I guess the bell is really ringing. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's maybe in my ear. Oh, yes, here.
Yeah, but I hear. Yeah.
It's a very soft chime. Very, very important to make it soft. Otherwise, you will have a headache by wearing it. And yeah, this is the silver base, polished silver base with the raw belt. The texture is very raw, as you can see. The bell of the bull. So yes, that's also for the good luck. And here I have the horn rings. These are real horns, which are just turned to wrap up your finger. We have the same earrings, but unfortunately I don't have them on me. As all of the pieces are exposed at the jewelry show, Gem Genève. Unfortunately, I don't have enough to show you today, which is a shame.
But
But
fortunately, you participate there, so no, congratulations. Yeah, Roxanne.
yes, and also I would like to show a picture of my small team, if it's
Yes,
all
sure,
right.
because you work
Yes.
with your team and I feel that you love them so much. You are so proud of them. Show us these faces, brave
Yes,
people.
we are all very young. I mean, I am actually the oldest in our team. I am
Oh,
35. Yes, all the rest are young people. And I will show you just the pictures of the people who work 100%. But of course, we have much, much more who participate in our project anytime. I didn't take pictures of those, unfortunately, but we have an amazing, amazing people. Maybe one day I will make a series of photographs of all the people who participate in this project. So I will just show again my presentation because it's on the last slide. I just didn't go. Oh, yes, just one
no,
second.
don't worry. Yeah, we will see again your beautiful pieces. And
Yes, so yes, that's me. Next to me is Julia, she's our tech director, and the three beautiful people who are based in Kiev right now, our heroes. This is Maxim, Anna, well,
Anna,
and
Alina, they are so young.
Alina. Yes,
They're wow.
yes. Alina, I think she's not even 20, and Anna is 23. Yes, Maxim is our jeweler. He's great. We love him. Alina is also our jeweler. She became as an intern with us, and she grew into a real jeweler. So she's gonna become a very, very great professional. I hope so. And our brand manager. She's doing everything. She's multitasking, and she's helping actually a lot because right now, Julia, as a tech director, she was responsible for quality control, for many things, for finances. But as she left Ukraine to Germany, as she has a little child, Anna is responsible almost for everything. Yes.
Wow. Nice, very nice team. And as you mentioned, young team,
Yes.
ambitious team. Yeah, thank you so much, Roxana, for this very beautiful story. And
Thank you.
I found very, very interesting that almost all your pieces, not all, I mean, I think all your pieces connected with history and almost all connected with the Ukraine. And yeah, we will be waiting for see in reality your pieces, how they look like this from the new collection.
Yes, so yeah, as I said, I found my vector. I would like to work deeply with the Ukrainian culture and history because I'm very much rooted in the past. I have an old soul and I really feel my ancestors, and I have a strong connection with Ukraine. So this is something which is a passion for me right now, and I'm happy that I could really explore and I could talk about it because unfortunately, because our land was well, it had a very difficult history for more than 200 years. People around the world, Europe, the US, they do not recognize Ukrainian culture by itself. They always connect it to Russia or to something else, to the USSR. So it's the borders are not there. People do not really understand. Only now people are starting to know that we're actually an independent nation, independent country with our own history, with our own traditions. And I think it's important if we have the chance to speak now, even though with such horrible conditions and circumstances, we have to do it. Um, that's a great opportunity. I really respect all of my colleagues, the designers, artists who are going around the world, who are spreading the word about the situation, who are talking about Ukrainian culture and bringing the international awareness. Really, bravo to everybody. I'm really happy to be in this kind of virtual team, even though I don't do as much as I would like to do. But yes, I'm happy that people are responding and people are getting to know the Ukrainian culture. Yes, this is very important, and people are getting to know that we're actually independent and we are free spirited. We are very free-spirited people. We will fight for our independence, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Glory to Ukraine.
Glory to Ukraine, Roxana. I just wanted to ask you, it will be very nice ending, but I still wanted to ask you about the plans of the brand. Maybe there are some upcoming events where you will participate. Maybe you want to, and maybe you have some plans in USA or some countries, because you're quite well known internationally.
Well, we are not quite well known. We're just getting there a little bit by little bit. We have our partners around.
But very fast, because I read materials about you in international magazines. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, yeah. We have some international partners in Europe. We have just one location in the US in Colorado. Our partners are great. So definitely we would like to be more spread out because because I find it's fascinating that the world is so big and we're so small, and we can really speak to somebody with our unique pieces. Yes, maybe they represent Ukrainian culture, but they're very connected to symbolism. They're very connected to God. Everything has a story, everything has the empowerment. And actually, we got a very nice proposition recently to participate, and I will tell you right now, in an initiative which will take place in New York. We're very happy for this proposition. So this initiative is called I Am You Are. This is Ukrainian Creators Fair. Only selected artists, not just brands, but selected artists will be participating there with different speakers, with different presentations, and talents from Ukraine, culture, technology, design, and fashion. It's a 3-day event where creative brands can present themselves, sell, and make more connections with the American community. So the event will take place in New York, February 17th, including the 19th. So I think this type of initiative, I think, is very interesting, and we are happy that we got invited. So yes, we would like to be known in the US. I love US. I just came back from the US.
Oh, wow, really?
Recently.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
okay. And then, so US will see you soon with your pieces. Oh, nice.
Yes. So this is our plans, to be a little bit more spread internationally, to be a little bit more known, to spread the culture, to spread the love, because we make pieces with love. And I hope that each piece brings at least good luck. Maybe a wish may come true or something, because I put all my soul and energy in that. I would like to empower my customer. I don't want to get just the money from
Yes.
Yes.
We see, I think, clearly the philosophy of the brand, and I wish you all the best, Roxana, with the rock
Thank you,
brand.
Lena.
I believe in you. I believe in talent, in your talent and talent of your team, and wish you all the luck I can wish. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and honor to speak with you and to be given this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, New York City Jewelry Week. Yeah.
Thank you, New York City Jewelry Week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
My name is Anna. I'm 27 years old. I'm a jewelry artist from Ukraine. For the last 9 years, making jewelry and working with metals is my main occupation. It's my creative way of expressing what I feel, exploring this world and finding my place in it. And I want to tell you my little story. I was born in eastern Ukraine, in Lugansk, in 1995. Since childhood, I had a passion for drawing and always made things with my own hands. And all my life, I have been very lucky with my teachers. My first art teacher had a real creative approach to teaching. We drew in different techniques and materials, and her tactics were based on inner impressions and transferring inner paper, helping the children to express their inner states and emotions. When I was a teenager, I broke my leg and had to stay homeschooled. I got through the school program pretty quickly, and the rest of time I did some creative work. Then it was decided to stay on that kind of education. I didn't go to classes, I stayed at home and passed on the exams. It allowed me to choose what I really want and devoted all my free time to artistic development. So at the age of 14 I enrolled in Computer Academy in Department of Graphics and Design to release my creative impulse. I had the opportunity to get necessary skills for me to be creativity free. After 3 years of training, I realized that I want something more. I didn't want to tie my life directly to computers and graphic design. I wanted to touch and feel the results of my work, and I have been always obsessed with jewelry. I even chose 3D jewelry models of Art Deco style as a topic of my project for Computer Academy. And I thought, why not try my hands at something so interesting and mysterious like making jewelry? My mom is always supportive and she shares a love of jewelry with me, so I made up my mind. Ever since I learned how to make handcrafted jewelry, my mom has been my main customer and the biggest fan. I use our family gems inherited from her grandmom and give them new life in the form of new jewelry from my mom. So at the age of 17 I moved to Odessa and entered the Jewelry Academy. My skills in computer graphics and design allowed me to get into the inner kitchen of real workshop and brought me one step closer to making jewelry. I combined my studying at the Jewelry Academy with my work as a general 3D designer. I was absorbed with learning new skills and wanted more practice. I even studied at night at home, learning gen settings. The academy gave me a more general idea of production, but I wanted to go deeper and deeper into the head of the matter. And lucky I found a man, I found my master. His name was Demirley Alexander. He raised me as a jeweler, he instilled me his philosophy of life, he taught me to think out of the box and find ways to solve problems. He taught me how to feel the metal. He was a real great jeweler, a true master of his craft. He could tell by us the weight of pieces and gems. Unfortunately, he is no longer alive and I miss him very much. With my friends, we organized a training workshop and took a part in our first exhibitions. My first client was really important for myself. She has given me so much confidence and I found out that someone is interested in seeing what I do with my hands. So I go on with my studies, learning more techniques, improving my skills. I love to learn and expand my abilities as a jeweler, and that's why I never stop and keep going deeper. I took courses in traditional Georgian technique of cloisonne. It was a real passion. Doing a little jewelry every day, I made several collections, took a part in exhibitions. I met there my future clients, learned a lot about myself, how to present my project. The more opportunities I had as a craftsman and more interesting it was to express me and observe how was I changing and how my jewelry has changing. So I organized my own little workshop and I made a small brand. I called it Anomaly. It's united of my first and last name, Anna Malashevskaya. I work a lot and get more and more clients and orders. I couldn't cope with the amount of the work alone, so I decided to invite people to join me and we started doing jewelry together. I really liked organizing a creative space to make it pleasant to work in it. Painted walls as one of the highlights of all my workshops. Working with metal became more and more absorbing. I began to feel it better, its properties, its life. I like to study any businesses from the inside. Through my life's work, I have met many professionals in different industries, have had the opportunity to visit different industries and better understand the works of the world and the people. I have made jewelry and seen a lot of the joys and emotions it brings to people. I was very interested in development in this niche. I made my jewelry, improved my skills, grew as a craftsman, perfected my corporate style, designed jewelry placements, did creative photo shoots, traveled a lot, participated in exhibitions, communicated with clients and grew as a person. I have changed several workshops, and in the last one I made a small showroom, and it was especially nice to invite people. They could see how I made jewelry, try on ready-made or made to order. I like this cozy place. There was a lot of traveling and exhibitions. I continued to learn new techniques to expand my abilities. I trained in metal clay techniques and semi-precious gemstone expertise. In each new place, I learned new skills and structured my space. I was getting new experience, I was developing as a master, and at some point I felt that I was ready to teach, and I started doing master classes where people would come to my workshop and made rings for each other for themselves. Everything was happening so fast, and at some point I realized that I wanted to stop and think a little bit about how I wanted to develop my future. I decided to slow down and devote most of my time to experimenting, and after COVID happened, I closed my studio and continued to work as an independent designer. I experimented a lot and studied for myself an absolutely amazing technique of electroplating, and I thought about larger and larger things. I want to see my jewelry not only in fingers, I wanted to decorate places. I have become slower and more thoughtful in my work. I'm putting a lot of meaning into it, and I'm working with even more dedication. When the war began, working with my hands was a support and very important thing that kept me emotionally stable. I was very lucky. I was invited to a stone cutting gem course in Switzerland. So 2 months ago I left Ukraine and went to a wonderful place in the village of Braunwald. There was amazing people and I got a new experience. After I went to my friends in Italy and now I'm here. Coming to a place where there is no war, I realized how my mental health has changed and I need some time to come to my sense. Right now I'm in Italy and I'm learning Italian, setting up my little workshop in a garage, and as always I want to have new experiences. I wanted to develop future. I don't know where life will take me next, and I am open to this world, and this world has never let me down yet.
So, good day, Vadim. I'm very glad to see you today here virtually in the New York City Jewelry Week special program about Ukrainian jewelers, Precious Ukrainian Voices. And today we will speak with you about your route, about your way, your story in jewelry design, in jewelry business. And Vadim is from Ukraine. We know each other a bit from I guess from March, because I wrote an article for Art Jewelry Forum, and I interviewed you only via email, and we never saw each other. And today is maybe the third time we see each other, and I find you very very positive, positive thinking man. And I know that you are now with your family, not in Ukraine, but in Romania, and you already established, established yourself there as a jeweler, found a way to work and to exhibit yourself, your pieces. Can you tell us more about how you decided to move in Romania, the route, how it happened that you're now in Bucharest?
Yes, hello again, and nice to meet you too. Now I work here in Bucharest, Romania. I moved here at the beginning of March with my whole family, with wife and 3 kids. And thanks to Assemblage, it's a contemporary jewelry school, I can continue my work here in this nice studio. And for me, it's a big luck to continue my work and do what I love.
And I know that you
Nice
already
people, very
participated in
kind,
Romanian
and
Jewelry Week, no?
yes, last year I participated in Romanian Jewelry Week, but I didn't come for my personal. I just trying to send my object.
And I know that you are now actually in your studio, or it's a common space, shared space of jewelers, for jewelers.
Yes, now I here in Assemblage School, but not in my workplace. It's a nice room, our nice and silent room. But I can show my workspace, and if you want, okay.
Yeah, show us, please, the workspace.
Okay.
Oh, it's a beautiful place.
Yes, it's a very very old house.
It's a house or it's a flat? It looks
Downstairs,
like
like a
apartment.
treasure. It's a big house, 4 floors. Here are some tools. Oh, some hello. Here my work. This is my studio where I exactly work, and this is my work table. And here's some object that I don't know, some not in collection, but while in process, while you do something, you reckon, oh, maybe this is something interesting. I will put it here, and maybe in the future I will continue with this.
Yeah, thank you for this little guided tour. But you really had a luck because yeah, I know about jewelers who moved from Ukraine in other countries, and it's quite tricky to find a place to work, new place, tools, instruments. So Assemblage, I guess this organization really helped you. Yeah, congratulations, Vadim. Yeah.
Yes, yes, it's a big support for me, and as I said before, it's big luck to continue my work here in this studio. It's amazing.
And can you tell us more about yourself, Vadim? Because even me, I know you only as a jeweler, already established jeweler with your own brand, Logvin Jewelry. And can you tell us something about yourself?
I was born in Kiev, Ukraine, and started doing jewelry, I suppose, maybe almost 6 years. Not so many years, but anyway, it's very. I studied very quick, and for me, big luck to meet some very good jewelry who teach me doing jewelry directly from the metal. That's
So you didn't went in university. You studied it from the person, like face to face with some
Yes,
master.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. And
yes,
I
but
saw
I
this
didn't.
picture and I was very curious about it because I didn't recognize you. Is it you or it's your master? Is it you?
Yes, yes, it's me. It's my first time in India after. Actually, this photo, I work in a bank and have a vacation, and I go to India. And after this trip, I leave the bank and start my creative studio to organize some painting workshop and
So you left your
also organize
career,
retreat.
financial
Yes,
career in bank
yes,
for the
yes,
jewelry.
yes.
Wow. Wow, okay.
Actually, I started doing jewelry by accident. Honestly, the metal work attracted me in the childhood when I was when I saw like blacksmiths make some very nice object from not so beautiful some piece of iron, and this moment I remember that I drink maybe sometimes I can also do something like this by my hand, but it was a childhood. After that I start studying in the school, university, and start working in a bank, but maybe in depths of my soul, I dream maybe sometimes I start doing something by my hand. After the, as I said, after the bank, I opened my studio, creative studio. Here is some this technique called Kyombu technique. It's gold-plated technique when pure gold applying on the silver with just with temperature, no any glue. It's some amazing process when two metal they fuse to each other, and it's a very ancient and very interesting technique because it's like a miracle, because you apply in one metal and you notice that now it's starts one metal. So you put gold on silver, and after that it's one metal. So it's a very interesting technique. This one of my ring, and here some illustration how I research and found some shape, and how the my research start became a metal in a metal way. Yes, but actually I was lucky to meet a master who works skillful directly with metal, and I asked to him maybe he to work for him. I said, okay, you can work for me, and for me it was a very important period. I worked for him maybe 1 year, and after I joined a few interesting workshop here also in Bucharest, but now my background consists mainly of self-education. I follow up some artists on YouTube and Instagram, and try to repeat some technique that they show. And for example, this technique is Kyombu. I saw this technique from one artist from Great Britain, and tried to repeat it my own. I practiced in maybe 1 year to be sure that yes, that's the result that I want to.
To achieve, yeah.
Yes, yes. And now I'm here in Bucharest. I made some workshop with this technique in assemblage school. For me, it's a big honor to make such a workshop, because 1 year ago I just starting to do this technique. Actually, my first important or significant piece, it's iron ring named Saturn ring. I should made it from horseshoe. It's pure iron, and for me it was very, very important thing, because I work in a both way, like a blacksmith and a jeweler, and in this process I noticed that this is the true meaning of jewelry, because actually for me jewelry, it's not a decoration, it's like a talisman or amulet. So in this way I understand the true meaning of jewelry is exactly in this meaning. I want to tell you about the next collection. It's Sunrise. It's about my reflection of personal feeling of joy and inspiration of this moment when the sun awakes and the lights drives out the darkness. So the gold, this pure gold, show us that the sun's awakes and something new and something good wait for us. It's silver, it's sterling silver. It's oxidizing, and also I use here this technique, Kyombu. It's pure gold. The most interesting in this technique, it's the silver anyway starts darkness, but pure gold not change the color. So it's very interesting to see this contrast.
Okay, this is one of your very famous collection. I guess I knew you out of some photos of this cardamom collection. The thing
Yes,
I like so much to put in coffee, and I was like, wow, I love it.
yes, it's very interesting spices. But anyway, you can eat not with coffee. You can eat just like seeds. It's very, very tasty and very interesting.
I guess it's still the India vibrations here, no?
Yes, maybe the first I try in India this spices, because I was so excited the special taste of this
Yeah.
cardamom. When the jewelry was ready, we start to planning the shooting, to make a photo, the shooting company, and we decide not doing traditional way to invite some very beautiful girl with a nice face. Maybe we need to make with usual people, and not only young people, because we want to show that collection, it's this jewelry, it's universal. You can wear it like a young and in any age.
Even any sex. I mean, I can imagine men wearing this ring and even earring. I guess it could be sex even, no?
Actually, yes, it's can be unisex, because this jewelry can tell something for surrounding people, not only just
Just
to make
the
your
beauty.
beauty. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. And I take this choker with the.
So okay. Can you? Okay. Yes, please. I will now start the presentation.
Looks good. Very like this. Yes, isn't it? I mean, for men, it's also will be good to wear it like this.
It is, and it looks like amulet or something very close to your body, a bit like a choker on you.
Yes.
Okay. And can you show us this flower exactly? Because I guess it's also Kiambu technique.
Here it's gold plated. It's galvanic gold plated. It's not Kiambu. Here I don't have with Kiambu. I just made some. But anyway, this gold plated, it's gold, also pure gold. It's not 585 gold. So the colors, anyway, it's better colors than in usual way. Now it's very important exactly for me and for my country. I want to show in this way that we are very, very ancient nation, and we have ancient identity and rich culture, and it's a collaboration with Treasure Museum of Historical of this Treasure Museum of Ukraine, and I took some artifact that was found in Ukraine in some small village. It's Martinivsky treasure. Actually, nobody knows what is this, but it's very ancient artifact. In original size, it's about 8 centimeters high. It's like this. Yes, it's quite bigger, and it's made from silver. And scientists suppose that they were on the shield. The warrior wear it on the shield, and maybe on horses. But anyway, it's some decoration for warriors. I don't know. It's very strange. It's not a traditional warrior. He have some specific pose. It's like a dancing, or maybe some ritual, or he have some unusual head. And actually, the T-shirts that we can see on this man, it looks like our traditional T-shirts.
Yeah.
I recognized this object maybe 5 years ago when I was in this museum in Ukraine, and I remember that it looks very strange. What is this? But we didn't have the true story about this object. Nobody knows how we use it, and we have some. I already told that they suppose the warriors were put it on the shield, and maybe it's like something protection way. And after 5 years, when I start to do new collection, and I want to make some collaboration to show our culture, I remember that I saw in museum this object, and maybe I should show this exactly this man.
Yeah, and maybe it's a good time for this collection.
Yes, to support our people, to show that we are really ancient culture, and maybe it will be like a talisman for us.
Yeah, amulet and talisman. And do you have something from this collection with you, maybe?
here, sorry, no, because now it's many people want to order this object,
But
and
perfect. Because
yeah.
I will tell to audience, we had a conversation with Vadim maybe a week ago, and Vadim showed me actually a lot of pieces he had in the studio, and now they're all gone. You sold everything. It's congratulations, and it's good that you
Thank
don't
you.
have a lot of pieces with you. Yeah, and it's made out of silver and gold, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, it's the same. It's ancient technique work with metal. So here, as you can see, some unusual color of silver. It's pure white. It's white because the upper layer of this object is pure silver. That's why it's so white. And also the gold-plated technique.
And I saw this very cute slide in your presentation.
Yes, actually,
You
this is
wanted to
my
tell
team.
something about your team.
Yes, actually, this this is my team, my wife and my elder son, who try and do some nice object. Now it's he's 9, and he also, for me, it's a very pleasure to hear that he says I'm very like to work with metal, like to do something directly with metal, like with paper or something like this. And for me, it's a very pleasure that
Oh, it's a
maybe in
very
future.
huge compliment for you
Yes,
as a for parent and for jeweler as well. Not to having all the time iPhone or something, to some device in hand, but work with metal. Wow, sounds great. Yeah.
yes, I hope he continue my way. And here my wife will help with the sales and marketing to develop our business. And between us, we have some maybe not good joke. I I call her BDSM manager, business development, sales and marketing. So because she have a lot of work with this kind of way, so we try to do it.
Yeah, you do jewelry and your wife is responsible for everything else. I can imagine
Everything else, yes,
how
of
much
course. And
how much work she has, yeah.
yes, and also she's a mother, so
Yeah. And can you tell us, Vadim, because you spoke now about PR managing some things with your brand. Can you tell us about your plans or maybe ideas how you will continue your work? I can imagine that even though you are in Romania for half of the year or even more, it's quite new situation and all this is new, but maybe you have some plans to participate in some exhibitions, maybe to show some works in galleries.
yes, actually, I have a big plans. We have a big plans to collaborate with galleries and with some conceptual shops who also like the some authenticity. Because for me, it's very important when jewelry not like a decoration; it's some story. In next month, I plan to visit Greece, also the historical museum of jewelry, and to participate here and there in some events.
So you're open for the propositions.
Yes, I open for any proposition for in such a way. Yes, with galleries and any concept store. Or it's not only a jewelry store, because it can be like clothing and maybe some object or anything.
Yeah, I guess audience from New York City Jewelry Week will explore something new out of your pieces, because yeah, I think not many people know about Ukrainian jewelers, and we will open a new page of contemporary jewelry for these people. Thank you so much. Have a great day, Vadim, and say hello to your wife, your children, your team, your support.
For sure.
Yeah. So bye.
Bye. See you.
See you. Good day, Igor. Very nice to meet you. Good evening, actually. I know that it's evening.
Hey, Elena. Hey, Elena.
Yeah. Now I'm in Portugal and you are still in Ukraine. You're in Kiev. I know about it.
Yes.
And
Yes, true.
I know about the circumstances. I know about that these days you have electricity maybe like few hours per day or something like this.
Yeah, true. Sometimes it really happens that we have electricity shut down for 4 or 3 times per day. So
Wow.
this is our reality.
Yeah, wow. And but you still found possibility to speak with me. Thank you so much for this. We arranged our meeting, virtual meeting for New York City Jewelry Week 2022. And
Thank you too.
yeah, thank you. And I know that you have a lot of things to tell us. I know a bit about you. We spoke with you one time, I guess, and I wrote about you a little article in our jewelry forum. It was in March, I guess. But I know also that you're not only jeweler, that you have very interesting past connected with art as well. So let's share with our audience your story about your life, about how you decided to switch to jewelry world.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I was born in Ukraine, post-Soviet part of the Ukraine in history, and my father was an artist, and my mother was an engineer. So I suppose that these two qualities made a huge leap in the stream of my life. So this is the way how I became, I suppose, a designer. Because a designer it's a person who actually somehow combines within himself something from art and something from engineering. And because if we speak about design, we speak about customers and the orders, the tasks. So we, as a designers, should fulfill the tasks of the customers. But before I became a designer, actually, I tried myself as a scientist. I tried myself as in the area of biotechnology. In Ukraine, we had this institute which was working on colony and cell biology and cryobiology, etc. And I was a postgraduate student and scientist in the beginning of my career. And then it just happened that I found out that I want to realize my ideas in a different way, actually. So I tried to work as I left this area, but I still have it in my heart. And so I tried to start to work as a graphic designer, and then I thought that it's not enough to have the area of the how to say it, empty paper, but I wanted to try something what has more material, what is more material. So I started to participate in different contests about industrial design and interior design. So that actually led me to the epoch in my career, epoch of industrial design. And we, together with a friend of mine, who is my colleague, we managed to organize design studio, which has named Дорогая Design Studio. And with this studio, we participated in different contests all over the world, almost all over the world. So we had 2 Red Dot Awards, and we participated in China. We participated in exhibitions in Denmark, in France, in Germany. So it is still interesting, and we, as it happens that we have such an occasion, we try with a friend of mine, with my colleague, we try to participate and keep in touch with this area of design. But
I'm sorry so much, Igor, but can I show something, because I guess I have something to show. I guess it's your objects of your studio, yeah?
Yes, it's true. Yes, and on the left, it's me and my colleague.
Yeah.
We're together, and you see, we had worked on a chair. This is a bird feeder on the lowest, right corner, and this is magnetic calendar. And if you just up a little bit up, this is also socket for the pluggers.
Okay, and 2 red dots. You got 2 red dots.
Yes, we got 2 red dots because we did really enjoy to do some new interesting stuff. And well, because I had a lot of conversations with my friends who are, for example, interior designers or architects, and with also with journalists, and they told me that why architects switch sometime to product design, to industrial design, because the time for realization in architecture lasts too long.
Exactly.
And in product design, it's not short, but it's also it's not too short, but it's not so long as an architect, if you work as an architect. But if you deep dive into the jewelry design, you can see that you can realize your ideas even in one day, almost instantly. So I suppose, and I see myself as not only like a jewelry designer, but as a designer of wide areas, and it helps me to see some collaterals between different areas in design, and sometimes it may lead to some it even better. So maybe I would show some projects which I already tried to do in jewelry, and I will share a screen.
And tell us, please, the name of your brand, Igor.
Oh, yeah. It's, in the beginning, I didn't plan to name my brand by my name, but as a reality of marketing shows that you have to do it. So my name is Igor Pinning in Jewelry. So it's easy for me.
So I guess we can look at your works now.
Yeah. From the beginning of my work in the institute in biotechnology, I felt the need of experiments. So in my work as a jewelry designer and industrial design also as well, I tried to experiment as much as possible. And I remember also one idea that if you want to get a success, you have to go with the hardest way, because less of people go with this hardest way.
Yes, yes, I see.
Okay.
I see, and I see your ring. Is it made out of gold? No?
Yeah, it is made of gold, and the special part of this ring is the process of production. This surface, the texture, is non-handmade. Actually, this is a physical process. So when actually the prototype made of wax. So this is a ring which produced from the melted wax, which starts to steam, to boil, and this port structure made by natural processes, by physical processes, not made by my hands actually. So I just make how to say it, circumstances which leads to this surface, and this is also corresponds to my some attitude to the production, to the making. Once I had tried to learn some Zen calligraphy with a master of Chinese calligraphy. So he told me that if you make a picture, or if you draw something in this style of Zen calligraphy, for example, if you decide that in order to complete the composition, you have to make a point, for example, a dot somewhere, for example. At this moment, you just withdraw your brush and don't use it anymore, because your mind is engaged in the process, but you have to follow the flow. So
in this work, you completely followed the flow.
Yes, I don't make it better with my hands. I just find the piece which is really the best ever. And you see these lines and dots and everything here, more spontaneous. A friend of mine who is physics told me that this surface is a surface of pink noise, something like this.
Okay, and it exists in one piece, or you made some pieces of it? Is it possible?
No, this is
Unique piece.
this is yes, this is unique, and this is a part of the process of not. This is I want to use or participate in this postmodernism idea when you copy the copies, etc. So I enjoy with the process, and each time I can't even imagine what will happen, and there are so many occasions with which influence the surface, the temperature, the volume, a lot of things. and it's actually very, very interesting, and it intrigued me. And what is the next? We have a also it is known like kintsugi style, kintsugi old Japanese technique when you use special liquor in order to combine parts of the clay which was destroyed. So you
when you find the
remake.
beauty in cracks,
yes. Yes, and this is very interesting. If you go deeper to the idea of the kintsugi, if you go deeper to understand why it is so important for the Japanese culture, you can find that it is also important for us. For example, many people just want to eliminate some imperfection, something what they consider that is not perfect, and they want to eliminate it to just become something perfect on the image. But the reality shows that all the problems that actually arrive to our life and which actually arise in our life, all these problems are just the signs on the way.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to leave, to hide what maybe made you stressed, you just not ignore it, but you
can find accept and kind of you can find them actually useful for the future.
Yes.
Yes.
This is the way I position these rings and bands, and some, for example, if my customers are trying to are looking for seeking for bands for engagement, so I try to explain them what actually stands behind this image, what stands behind this black and yellow or black and white if we use white gold. So this is a kind of wave of the life when the 100% will accept what happens with them or destroy themselves. That's all.
And it's a wedding jewelry, wedding ring.
Okay. Yes, a lot of people are actually interested is to buy it as a wedding jewelry.
Okay. Now I see it makes even more sense now. Yeah. And it's made out of which materials? Could you tell us?
Yes, this is a technique when the base ring, which is made from silver or gold, is in this case this is silver. So the base ring destroyed and broken, actually not destroyed but broken to the parts in one moment, not with the hands. I mean, not I don't think how to. You see these yellow lines, yes, filled with gold.
Yeah.
I don't actually plan to have, for example, this sign which resembles letter Y. Yeah, Y.
Yeah.
So I don't have a plan to make this Y. I just broke it, and it broke in this way. So then I use this technique of kintsugi when I recollect these parts which was broken, and then I fill it with gold. So I don't have only one ring which I copy and copy and copy and copy, but it's very intrigues me that I can receive different different surfaces, different textures for each customer. And sometimes it's like, I don't know how it happens, but for different people, different signs I receive. Yes or no. I mean, sometimes the cracks resemble the sign of Y or no, and no, or sometimes it's creased, or it's different, and it's interesting, very interesting.
Clients
So I enjoy.
accept it all the time. They're like, okay.
Yes. They accept it and they enjoy it, I suppose. And also this patina, black patina, it is darkened silver. It tends to left, or how to say it, it tends to become more natural color, like silver has a white color. And I explain to customers that it's normal when they accept the changes in the ring, that it's normal. And so this is the rings which I suppose if people are looking for some knowledge, if they are looking for some wisdom, which we can find in Eastern wisdom, okay, a little bit this way, so they can find it in these rings.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a pair of wedding rings. And this is also my experiment with patina. And on the silver, it has such a beautiful blue color, which which now more symbolic for Ukraine, like yellow and blue.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is experimental part. This is the first ring I made in this technique. And I also interested in and a fan of Chinese and Japanese pottery. So I suppose that I find some ideas in that field of artists. They produce a lot of very interesting clay pots, etc. So I always try to understand how they think and trying to apply it in this jewelry design. I'm not
something absolutely different, because the previous was kind of brutal a bit, and this is absolutely different.
It means that I was. It's like I had the roots and have roots in design at all. So I appreciate architecture. I trying to do something new in jewelry. And for example, this collection, I named it Modernism, and I actually used an engineering I-beam, T-beam, as you see it, is the name of in English architecture. Use it architecture, and the engineers they use this cross section of the I-beam, as you see it on the first upper first
image. I see.
Yes, this is a chain which I use in this collection. For example, you have a chain here, big chain, small chain, earrings, and also it helps to make the earrings. They're also brutal a little bit, but it helps to make the light in the weight. Because these constructions, as we see, for example, I-beam, the first one.
Yeah.
It helps to solve the problems of the high loadings with low metal in order to fulfill these forces which influence on the I-beam, for example, in architecture. So I just used this cross sections in jewelry, and for example, this huge neck chain should have been quite heavy, but it's not heavy because it's made because it's made like an engineer it made.
Yes, I mean, you work here, and you think you're even really like a product designer, not thinking only about beauty, but also about like comfort of the client. It's easier, and I mean, if it will be not so heavy, why not? I mean, it's even maybe better.
Yeah, I have also this.
Wow, you will show us a bit later when we will switch out the presentation. Please show us.
Yes, I will show you. And also, if you follow to the next project, which I would like to share with you, is also, this is the first one. I made, I named it flow, because the lines, the surface, the texture, everything here also made not by myself, but made by the nature. And I made only the circumstances which follow, which makes this jewelry. For example, you see these lines which resembles some leaves or flowers, but actually it is wax which had some influence, had been influenced by the water.
Yes, it looks like a circulation of the water, actually.
Yes, it's true, because it was made in circulated water.
Okay.
And for example, you see this band, these curves, these lines. It is not made by mind. Actually, I just used my mind to select the best pieces which was made by nature. I suppose that is an interesting way to just to notice something beautiful, which we usually see each day, but don't notice it.
So it was your first collection as a jeweler.
Yes, this was my first collection, but I would say that it maybe mostly as an artist, as a designer, because but in the jewelry design we have two words: jewelry and design. So we have to collaborate, to combine these two ways. How to work with customers, how to work with material, how to work with our perception of beauty.
And actually, I wanted to ask you, Igor, about how you work. You work alone or you work with team, speaking about customers, about some exhibitions and so on?
Well, in the beginning, I started to work for a brand which focused on the popular mass production jewelry. And when you do such kind of, when you try to work in this niche, you have to have a team. It's not impossible to work alone in such a big area. But then I just shifted to more how to say it,
like avant-garde artistic, I guess.
Yeah, avant-garde artist, more individual design. And if you work in this area, you probably don't need to have a big team. Of course, if you are just an artist, you don't need to have a team at all. But if you need to earn money with your jewelry, of course you need team. And I have a team of friends of mine which actually helped me with some advices. So nowadays I am alone in my brand.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have something else to show us from your jewelry?
By images, no. I suppose it's enough to show. Let it be the best of the best.
Yes, I saw these all collections. I guess this one, Flow, about fluid forms, is my favorite one. Very minimalistic, and yeah, I love such things. And so you can show us, by the way, your chain, because you have it on you.
Ah, okay.
If you can stop the presentation, we can see it. I will make a big screen of you.
When you work as a designer, you use some principles. For example, when you do a chain, you start from the beginning. What shape it should have? It should have what shape? When you go to the lock, you can't use the same lock which everyone uses it. You start to think what lock you will do for this task. So this is my principle. When I do design, I start to think about everything. And of course, such a principle actually demands a lot of work, and you can't do a lot of designs very, very fast. At least if you work alone. But of course, if you work in a team, for example, I recently had seen some promotion from IKEA where it was made everything in black and white. And it was something which I was like very impressed, because they had a team of people who like their job, and they can collaborate. And I suppose that if you, well, it depends on the person if he wants to do it by himself. But I know that when people collaborate and when people communicate, then something unpredictable could appear. So I would like to say that maybe in jewelry design, it is very, very, very important to collaborate and communicate.
Yeah. Can you show us? I just
something more.
Yes,
something more.
Yeah.
And this is very interesting for me. Also, the ring.
Okay.
For example, this one. And what is interesting for me in this ring, because it should have been absolutely whole and absolutely complete form, which resemble, for example, some small stones. But it had a mistake of production. It has a huge hole, but I decided that this is like something special of this ring, and I just introduced there some stone, which is you see this very beautiful
Yeah,
green
and
color.
what is the stone actually?
It is amalite,
Okay.
amalites. And this is example of how you can see the beauty in some ordinary things or ordinary stuff.
It's something new. I never saw it before in your collections.
Yeah, maybe you have seen my collection, which is called Gallium.
Yes, I saw gallium.
Yeah, but I didn't show it on the Instagram. So maybe in the future.
Okay. You have something else? Yes.
Yeah, I have something else. I have such a beautiful case.
Oh.
Yeah. Some small treasure.
Yeah, some small treasure. And you now, it's possible to buy something from you. You sell now. You have possibility to send it somewhere. I mean, the
Yeah,
post office working.
actually, I work on a local market, but I'm looking for the possibility to find ways how to be presented in some galleries in US, for example, or in Europe.
Okay, yes, I think everything will be okay with you, and you will find the galleries and because I think that I know a lot of jewelers. I saw a lot of jewelry, but I mean your pieces, they are understandable in the whole world. They have this unique language, minimalistic, very contemporary, and yes, and this kintsugi thing which you use as a philosophy in some of your pieces, I love so much. When not everything, when you cannot control everything as an author, you just give something for the nature.
Yeah, it's true. I suppose you know when I see another works of jewelry designers or just industrial designers, etc., I see how they think. And it intrigues me much more than something else. And this is the way how the artist actually translates his nature, translates his vision. So for me, this is the way how. So for example, some poetry is they use poetry to liberate and express themselves, and I use jewelry to express myself also.
Yeah,
This is very interesting, I suppose.
yeah, and you see, I'm asking all the time. Maybe you have something else to show us from your magic case. Maybe you can show us something.
Well,
I'm always like
have
the story. I like to see something like in reality, and I think it's very
yeah,
for others.
I have a new ring also, which I didn't show to anybody, so nobody.
Okay, do we still have internet? Let's see. Yes, we have. We just miss Igor. Igor, you're with us now? Yeah, fine. We see you. Yeah. Yeah, some problems could happen because, yes, you know that Igor is now in Ukraine and we don't know, will internet be perfect or not so perfect? So you never know. I guess Igor will come back now. Let's hope. No. So, actually, I just received a message from Igor that now the electricity is off. Now in Ukraine, maybe today is, I make this video 4th November 4th, and already during 1 week in, I guess, all the Ukraine, the thing is like this: each day people have electricity just in some hours, water, heating just from, for example, 12 till 2, then from 6 till 8. And the life is like this now in this country. And I have to tell that I'm really amazed by these people. And I'm really happy that Igor found an opportunity, and he found this little time when he knew that the light will be, that he will have an electricity, and he even brought his suitcase with his treasures, and he found a will, he found a possibility, I mean, psychologically speaking, in himself to speak about it, because me, I cannot imagine how such brave people can be, how brave are people from Ukraine. So thank you, Igor, so much again. And I think you enjoyed his story, you enjoyed his pieces he showed, and Igor is really eager. Pinigian is really open for the communication about some exhibitions. He is open for some sellings of his jewelry, and he's continued to produce the jewelry, and he's producing the jewelry in Ukraine even in such hard times. So you can support him, his business, his art, actually, by his things, ordering his things, maybe inviting him in some exhibitions. And thank you so much. And I think now we will see a next jeweler.
Hello everybody, my name is Olga and I am from Ukraine. I live in Kiev and currently I'm in Carpathian Mountains. In my life I have two passions. First one is enamel and jewelry, and the second one is Carpathians, Ukrainian Carpathian Mountains. I will try to tell you something about me, and this interview will be absolutely unusual. I'm here just for a few days and then I will go back to Kiev. And probably you know, there we have a lot of problems with electricity and I just couldn't make normal interview, and I will try to do something unusual, but I hope it will be interesting for you. I was born in Vinnytsia, in absolutely ordinary family. I have lovely parents. My father, he is physician, and my mom an engineer, and both of them are teachers in the college. And I have absolutely lovely brother. He is the best brother in the world. I'm really grateful for him, because without him I couldn't do what I do. He is supporting me a lot. From my childhood, my parents noticed that I like to draw and paint, and even in the most difficult time for my family, my parents all the time found the way how to develop my creativity. When I was teenager, I finished an art school for kids, and it was my favorite place, and there my personality started to grow. At that time I liked to sculpt from different materials. It was my favorite work. After school I finished pedagogical university with specialty physics, and yes, I could be teacher of physics. To be honest, I didn't like to study there too much, but I have one really interesting subject there, which is helping me. That subject was the technology of structural materials, and we had a lot of experiments, and I found a lot of information there about metals and how to work with them, about properties of metals, and this knowledge still helping me a lot. After the university, for a few years I had regular work. I didn't like it, and in some point I realized that I need to stop with it, and from that point I started to experiment with different materials, with different techniques. I just tried to find what exactly I would like to do, and I tried to work like a graphic designer as well, and I didn't like it too. At that period of my life I used to sculpt a lot from polymer clay, and I like to sculpt, most of all I like to sculpt little cute animals with jars inside. And also I tried to experiment with jewelers or with some things for interior. And during this process of experiments with different materials and techniques, I decided probably it would be nice to get another education, and then I finished another university with specialty landscape design. After, when I got my second degree, I tried to find a job in landscape architecture, and accidentally I met one guy, and he was an owner of a jewelry company, and at that moment he tried to find an artist who will create designs for jewelries and who could make enamel too. We communicated with him during a couple months, and he gave me a couple test tasks, and I read a lot about enamel, about jewelry techniques, and at the end of our communication he proposed me not so good salary, but till that moment I realized that I would like to make jewelries and to work with enamel too. In 2017 I started to work with enamel on copper, and all of my friends helped me, my brother helped me a lot. At the same time I started to teach kids, just because I needed money for enameling. and at that time I started to create just simple jewelries in cloisonne technique. At the same time, I tried to participate in different fairs and couldn't get success, and in half of the year I just got bored with this technique and started to experiment more. Just because I still didn't have a lot of tools, I tried to experiment with thin alloy and combine thin alloy with enamel. And at that time I created some, I think, my first interesting works. But most of all, I dreamed about to know how to work with enamel in contemporary way. And after 2 years of my work with enamel, I was lucky to meet one well-known enameler from Argentina. His name is Marcelo Bessi. And in 2019, I had absolutely great opportunity to have a trip with him in Europe, to be a part of his workshop, and from that moment my works changed a lot. Our trip was amazing. We could visit a lot of countries and to meet a lot of enamelers. I was with Marcelo in Portugal, in Spain, in Italy, and in France, but most amazing place was Limoges in France, and there I could see a lot of different works from different enamelers and there I could meet Christian Christel. He is absolutely amazing artist, and he impressed me a lot. And in 2019 I also started to work with jewelries in contemporary way, and I got a topic around microorganisms, and I started to create bacterial brooches and I started to do it 1 year before pandemic. In 2020 I started a lot of works. Most of them was jewelries, and some of them was panels and sculptures, and I worked with cages a lot as well. And I was lucky to stuck in Argentina during first big lockdown. But despite the pandemic, I was able to participate in a symposium, enamel symposium in Lithuania in 2020. In 2021, I was even more lucky. I got COVID, and after that I couldn't work at all, probably more than 4 months. And but after that I could participate in 10 Collab Challenge, and I could finish with 2 panels. I decided to apply for a big festival, enamel festival in Limoges, and for a bursary award from Guild of Enamelers, from British Guild of Enamelers. And after the new year I got a gift. I was lucky French enamelers chose my works for one of exhibitions of the festival, and I won a bursary award from the Guild of Enamelers too. And just after a couple of weeks, when I got that incredible news, the large-scale invasion of Russia in Ukraine began. And probably I will never explain you my feelings and what exactly happened in Ukraine, in Kiev. At that moment, I was in Kiev just for 5 days, but I couldn't sleep and almost couldn't eat. At the same time, my brother with his girlfriend stuck in the city of Bucha, near of Kiev, and it was too much for my psychic. And I decided to go somewhere. During these days, I got a lot of invitations from different enamelers from all over the world, but first I got invitation from one woman from Britain, and actually she was the person who with another people decided to give me that bursary, and I decided to go to Europe and then to go to Britain just because I knew that I need to take my works to the festival in France, and I didn't know how long that terrible situation could continue, and at that moment I thought it will be the best option just to go and then to decide what to do next. And I started my trip from Kiev to somewhere. It was actually terrible. I couldn't sleep even when I came to Europe. My first point was Prague, and there I met a lot of incredible people, and one woman, she is an enameler, she helped me a lot. And after that I needed to move in Berlin. After Berlin I moved to Erlangen to another enameler there, and there finally I could work a little bit. I made one panel and one brooch, and but at the same time I was in a terrible state. Everything around of me was in black and white colors. After Limoges, I returned to Britain, and again, probably I will never explain you what exactly I felt there. And after 1.5 months, I decided to go back to Ukraine because I understood that without help of another people I couldn't continue to do what I want to do there. I could just clean apartments for another people, and I decided probably will be better to return to Kiev. I came back to Kiev at 3rd of August and it was my birthday. You know, I was really happy to be finally at home, but at that moment I didn't realize how difficult it will be here. I lost an opportunity to earn some money. But you know, I believe in the best future for me and for my country. And I can survive at this moment just because other people are helping me. And I'm really grateful for everybody. I still have a lot of works which I just started. Oh my god, probably 10 different brooches, couple sculptures. I have some sketches for panels, and I just dream when this reality will be more normal again, and I will have opportunity to continue to work. Like every artist, I just dream about, I don't know, to find people who will like my works, who will buy my works, and they will give me a possibility in this way to continue to work with what I like. I would like to find maybe some contacts with some galleries, and I just dream about a peaceful future for me and for all of my country.